Welcome back to episode 2. We're going through all the mods in my Create Craft mod pack, just so you can better understand them. So to quickly move along, we have the crafting station, which is probably one of the first things you're ever going to craft if you're playing on multiplayer. I guess it doesn't really matter if you're on normal survival, but it's a little bit different from a normal crafting table. So the way you craft it is just by putting a crafting table in, you get a crafting station. Now the difference can be noticed when you put stuff into a crafting table and you close it, and boom, it's right back into your inventory. Like, that sucks. Crafting stations, they're a bit different because they actually store the items inside of them. That's a little bit of a weird item looking on it, but like normal blocks look, well, normal. Wheat seeds are definitely a little strange, kind of like halfway through the table. Anyways, this little button here, that just clears them from it. Then you can make the crafting station slab. I wouldn't recommend this because on one of my other mods that we'll go over in a second, makes it so when you try to open it, you'll sometimes sit on it, which is really weird, but I don't know, it's kind of funny as well. The other main function of the crafting station is when you put it next to furnaces and chests. You can actually interact with them and put items inside of them. That's pretty useful. I don't know how I feel about having both of them next to it. I would say just have a chest. Can I open this? I have to replace it. Okay, I may have broken the mod. It's just really weird. I wouldn't really recommend that. So yeah, that's the crafting station. Pretty simple, pretty nice. It's really nice for multiplayer because you can show recipes to people or just help each other with what you're making. And yeah, the next mod we'll go over is Compressium. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's kind of just a weird made-up word. Basically, you can compress different blocks. There's a whole bunch of them. If I just look up compressed, you can see all of them here, like sand, nether quartz, diamond blocks. When you see these numbers, you'll realize how insane some of these are. And so yeah, I'll just use cobblestone for the example. You have normal cobblestone, and then you'll go to a crafting table with that, put it in a 3x3 or 9 blocks, and you'll get compressed cobble times 1. If you do this a whole bunch, you can get enough to make the next step up, which is compressed cobble times 2, and then you can keep going like this up until times 9. And just to give you like an idea, because I'm in creative, so you can't really tell how much cobblestone I'm using. 1 cobblestone is, 1. Compressed times 1 is 9. Compressed times 2 is 81. Compressed times 3 is 729. It keeps going up all the way to times 9, which is 387 million cobblestone, which is quite a bit. It gets to a million at times 7. Yeah. Pretty insane numbers here. If you have a lot of cobblestone, this is an easy way to store all of it. Or hey, maybe it's a goal for you to get that one at the end. I don't know. I don't think there's any ways to auto-craft in my mod pack. Kind of because I didn't think that'd be like vanilla. I'm trying to keep it mostly vanilla feeling. But yeah, that's just a little nice thing to do with your extra cobblestone. Our next mod is grass seeds, which just means you can get your wheat seeds and boom, turn your dirt into grass. This is really useful if you're lazy and don't want to wait for grass to spread. Maybe you build something way up in the sky or way underground, or just don't have grass blocks. You just right click it with some seeds and you can make tall grass or just normal grass. It's pretty useful, especially for collecting other seed types from the plant mods that are added. Our next mod is just called Sit. It's pretty simple. All it allows you to do is just sit on stairs and slabs, which is really useful for stuff like this, so you can actually properly sit in them. And it works just like if you had a minecart inside of them. So if I press F5, it looks pretty much the same as when you do that. Pretty nice mod. Lets you sit on slabs too, and you can make a little couch or whatever. You can't sit on corners. Oh, you can. Okay. I couldn't get that to work earlier. Maybe I was just not clicking in the right place. And yeah, I'm just going to be moving on really quickly. I've never done this before. I have no idea what I'm doing. So sorry if my commentary is shaky. Our next thing is with rotten flesh. You have a whole bunch of rotten flesh and you need leather. Well, just put it in the furnace. Let it smelt and out will come some leather. It's a pretty simple mod. This has been a thing for forever in mods. This is so much nicer than having to hunt down hundreds of cows or have a cow farm constantly. Cow farms are still useful, of course. It's not like they're pointless. You still need milk, and they're also just still a readily available source. But with PC, and I guess a bit on console, once you kill all of the cows in your immediate region, it can become a huge task to find new ones and lead them all the way back to your base. So that's why I installed this. Our next one involves, just a normal furnace, You get your normal furnace, you have a whole bunch of them, and you decide, I'm just going to place all of my furnaces together. For no apparent reason. I'm just apparently, like, insane or something. I have no clue. I'm just making up a random backstory to show off this mod. And boom, you like a jumbo furnace. Now this isn't as insanely overpowered as it immediately looks. It only smelts one item at a time. It can just store more items. So this is a pretty nice addition to have, and kind of cuts down on that usual sort of super smelter look. You can still do super smelter stuff like this, accepts hopper intakes. So I get a little hopper and what else? Chest. I need to put an A. It will still take stuff from a hopper and put it to wherever it needs to go. Does it need to be on the top? I think it needed to be on the top. Also might not put it in if I... Okay, let's get something that's actually like smeltable. Stone. Boom. It'll start going in. And as you can see, it's only smelting one item at a time, but it's storing all of it, and it looks like it's a... It may be more efficient, or maybe it's just because I'm using blocks of coal. I don't know. It's just a ease of life thing if you want to make 27 furnaces. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I think one of the final mods, getting towards the end here. Boom. You go all the way down to the bottom of the world. You may notice something a little bit different than usual. You don't have insane, weird bedrock that's like craggly and stuff and annoying to work with. It's nice and flat. That's the void beneath there. This is just sort of thing to make your world a little nicer. The next thing I wanted to show you is my hunger bar. If you look real closely, you'll see those gray checkered board pattern behind it and the yellow around the very last hunger haunch, I guess you could call it. I don't know. They're just kind of like drumsticks. And so this is the apple skin mod. It's just a little bit more info about stuff your hot bars actually always had. And so when you pull out food, it'll show you how much you're going to recover. That yellow sort of outline is your saturation, which is your extra hunger behind your real hunger. So when I eat this and I run around, you'll see that those gray checkers fill up, and that's just like the timer until your hunger goes down one. And it'll first take away from your saturation, and once it's through with your saturation, it'll go through your actual hunger. Now, of course, I'm not healing because I'm not to full hunger yet. I'm just going to run away from the creeper. But if I were to heal up, you'd see that healing also reduces your saturation. You can see how it's just sort of like spazzing out all the way up. That's because it's using my saturation now to heal me. So yeah, that's just a little more information about your saturation. I can't really explain saturation and hunger perfectly here. Just looking at it for a while, you'll eventually understand that if all of that's filled up and all of it has yellow saturation, you're 100% full. If all of it's filled up and you have no saturation, you're halfway full, that sort of thing. And it's just normal stuff you can't actually see. Now, something else you've probably noticed this whole time is all this over here. This is a mod called JEI, or Just Enough Items. It's had a whole bunch of different names. You might know it as Too Many Items. But basically, this mod just shows you every single item within the game. Yeah, left click to see the recipe, R to see what the recipe is. These are just like alternate controls. U to see the use of it, or right click to see what it's used for. Yeah, R for recipe, U for usage. That's just the way I remember it. This is a really useful mod if you don't know the recipe of things. Maybe you're going through here and you're like, how do I make a potion of poison? Oh yeah, I add a spider eye to an awkward potion. Or, maybe you actually know all the vanilla recipes and you actually just want to know the recipe to some weird modded item that you have no idea how to make. Like, for example, let's find a good one. Like a magnet. Well, to make a magnet, you need blue dye, redstone, a chorus fruit, 2 iron, and any type of cobblestone. When it flashes through this, this just means it can use any type of that thing. So if we look at like a bed, you can see how it'll flash through every type of wood because you can use any type of wood for it. But it won't switch through all the types of wool because the wool changes what type of bed you're creating. So I'll end this video here. I think that's all the mods I was supposed to go over. I hope I didn't miss any. If I did, I'll just be in the next video. And I'll see you later. Bye.